I do agree with you to a certain extent, but I also do think that our education system teaches in one way, but we don't learn in one way. Like, I love reading. I could read 400 pages and I'll understand every single word because I've done it most of my life and I get it. And I'm a very logical person and that makes sense to me. But someone like you and Ali, I understand why you guys would want something to be more visual.
Yes. So my solution to that is doing something and that requires muscle memory and listen to whatever I want to learn. So, like, let's say it's like, I don't know, 4 hours podcast I want to listen to. I don't know, I go skiing or walking or painting or some. When I was in high school, I was always painting.
Yeah, I love painting.
I was just painting things while the teacher is teaching. And I'm not looking at the teacher and I'm not studying at home. But I always had good marks.
Because you are taking in the information.
Because my, like, I was just drawing things and my brain was active and I'm, learning this information and it would just click in for me.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Just do something while you're, And also it's very important to be able to not do anything and just sit still at the moment, for at least like 5 minutes a day. For someone like Ali, to just like put his mind together. Even like when you do 5 minutes a day, it makes such a huge impact in your life. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I think we should. I think that at this point, everybody wants to know who he is because he always comes up on all of the podcasts. But no, I agree with you. Have you seen that episode of Family Guy where they give Stewie ADHD medication? And his pupils get dilated. Have you seen it? It's so funny. So I agree with you. I do think that ADHD is something that's like people throw around so much nowadays. So much, yeah. I'm ADHD, but it's like...
It's like a title.
Yeah, but...
I have ADHD.
And I do believe that some people have really intense cases of ADHD. I do believe that that's a thing. Again, I don't know. I don't know enough about these kind of things. But I do think that everybody has a difficult time focusing on things that are not interesting.
There's too many things happening in people's life. Of course, it is so natural that we are this frustrated because we're not living in like a natural environment that we are designed for. We're living in such a hectic life. Everything is happening so fast. The technology is developing so fast. There's new things coming every day, new problems. Life moves fast, and and we don't meditate. We don't do any inner work. Of course, we get.
Yeah, it's hard to focus and hard to stay present.
You need to. It's something that you need to work on.
No, I agree. You know what's funny? Actually, I was.
What I believe, it's not something that you get diagnosed with. Okay. It's not like, oh, you have this, so you have to eat this medication and just you're gonna get good. No, there's an issue that you can go and solve it by focusing more on something or narrowing down or I don't know, removing distractions or creating the right environment. This kind of stuff can solve the problem. Don't just label it with, I don't know, ADHD.
I'm ADHD, yeah. You know what's funny? I was actually diagnosed with ADHD and
Who diagnosed?
I went to an actual ADHD clinic.
See, they're making money off diagnosing you with ADHD.
So then they gave me the pills, the medication for ADHD. I can't take it. I took it one time and I swear to God, it was the worst day of my life.
Right?
It was the worst day of my life. I actually thought I was going to have a heart attack. I don't know what about it, but it just was not for me. And then I started just doing holistic things. Like when I would go and because keep in mind, I went to law school. I would take like 4-hour exams, like 5-hour exams, so I needed to focus. Yeah. So I had to figure it out, and I just figured out like natural ways of doing it. Like, for example, I always had a ring. Whenever I played with the ring, it helped me focus. So I had something to do with my hands. Same thing with you. I always had scrap paper for all of my exams. And if I'm reading through fact patterns that are like this big, I'd just be like sketching because I paint and I draw too. Sketching. And I'd just be sketching and like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, now you said it's muscle memory, but it worked. A lot of holistic things, or even like taking a break. You know what I mean? I know, like, take a break for like 10 minutes and just sit down and just meditate, like sit still, and then start again. You know?
Like, feel yourself, feel your body, feel your breath.
Yeah.
You know, feel your hands. Just feel yourself for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and be present, and it's gonna make a huge change.
Yeah. I would say that, and also switching tasks. I would say for people who think they're ADHD or they've actually gotten diagnosed or whatever the case may be, switching tasks is important. If you can't focus on something, switch, even if it's for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, do something else.
Right.
Do something else and then come back to it.
Yeah.
You know, because it's hard to sometimes it's hard to focus on like a 4-hour long thing. Yeah. But if you break it up into like 4 1-hour things, you might be able to do it.
Yeah.
You know, just
take breaks.
I have a more nuanced approach, I guess.
Also, something I learned that really can help is sometimes I remove fun from my schedule.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And it's like too many days working in a row, and it's like, you know, and what my type of work is like, it doesn't have office hours. So you work, and then sometimes you're working until very late, like 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And then you just sleep, and the next day you have to work again.
And it all feels like one long day.
And it's all like long, and then you want to go to the gym, and it's also, you know, taking so much energy and everything. Yeah. So after a few days, I feel like the ADHD gets really bad, because now I'm sitting behind the computer and I don't want to be there. And I have to be there, and I don't want to be there, but I have to be there. So it's kind of kicks in the ADHD. Productivity comes down, and then when you add a little bit play into it, I don't know, do something like, I don't know, going out for skiing, or I don't know, playing video games, or partying, or something in between this. It keeps me, you know, being able to
recharge
and get on.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's my opinion. I don't think that I don't necessarily think that like things like this don't exist. I don't know enough. You know what I mean? Because I don't, how the fuck, there's doctors arguing about whether it does or doesn't exist. Who am I to come and say
what, ADHD?
Yeah, like now there's so many different like opinions on it, but as someone who's been diagnosed with it, I don't necessarily think that it's medication is the only way.
Yeah,
because I've gone through law school, I've gone through everything in my life having it, supposedly, right? And it's just by doing the things that we talked about.